everybody, John Kettler here again with another edition of Bad Deck Monday. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be evaluating the Deck Wizard function on the Pokemon trading card game online. Now, in case you've never heard of this before, it's a function that lets you automatically create a deck based off of two of your favorite cards in your collection, or you can just build a deck at random. So the year is 2017, and this program has gone through a lot of different revisions. The functionality of it has varied over the years. It started out being really bad, but I get the impression that it's gotten a lot better. So this video is also going to function as a test for the Deck Wizard and see what kind of limitations it has and maybe what the developers can do to make it better. So we'll go ahead and click on Deck Wizard. Got one of two options. We can either filter by type or choose a Pokemon. We're going to go with neither. We're going to build the deck at random. We're going to keep our format in standard, and let's see what we got. So right off the bat, it looks like we don't really have two Pokemon that are the center of the deck. Looks like there's four. And it randomly gave us two Mega Audino when we only have one, so I don't know about that. And excuse me, I just accidentally wiped out all of our Hippopotas evolution. Hippowdon. I can't believe I forgot the name on it. A 1-1 line on Hippowdon, or a something, or a 2-1 line. Whatever that was, I already forgot. But, yeah. Apparently what they do is they are choosing two things as the major focus of the deck, and then two things as, like, minor inclusions. So we're going to go ahead and make the deck better right off the bat by taking out the obviously minor inclusions that they just threw in without much reason. And so that leaves us with two cards that are relatively lacking in synergy. We've got a Whiscash that puts fighting type and it puts stuff to sleep. I guess that's pretty unique. And this deals energy or damage based off of energy you discard from the top of your deck. So normally we don't want a high energy count, but it looks like we're going to have to play it because of the way that that card works. So then double checking Mega Pidgeot and regular Pidgeot, we've got decent attack outputs. I don't really think there's going to be any synergy at all between these two, but Water Pulse and Mock Cyclone look like they're pretty disruptive. Featherlance looks like it can set up some things, so it's not as bad as it could be. So for some forsaken reason, we've got nothing but fighting energy when obviously Whiscash can use more than just fighting, and so can Mega Pidgeot. So we aren't going to just blindly go with what the deck builder tells us to go with. Instead, we are going to fix the deck a little bit. So we've cut down half of the fighting energy. I don't think that any changes to the algorithm or whatever are ever going to really fix the issue with energy. I think people are just going to have to go in and figure it out themselves. But it should be obvious that when you're running lots of colorless Pokemon with beefy attacks, you probably need some double colorless energy, and so that's just what we're putting in. It's still a really high energy count, but because this guy's whole focus is dealing damage based off the landslip attack, we're going to go ahead and go with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what trainers we were given, and wow, this is awful. This is awful. So Floral Crown, that heals based off of that heals based off of the Pokemon being a basic and everything we have evolved, so we're cutting that. And even though we run 3 Mega Pokemon, for some reason it decided it would be a good idea to throw in Faded Towns. So how about no? This is a supporter card that lets you put all the prizes face up, and for some reason it's a 4 of in here, so we're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. We don't run GX attacks, so we're going to cut Hala. And I don't really know if we need any of this. I think, honestly, this is a first for me. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I had a couple of recordings of this whole Bad Deck Monday that went wrong for one reason or another, so I had to can them. but every single time there's been at least one trainer card I could use, but there's literally nothing that was playable. That's really kind of disappointing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out all those unplayable, awful cards, and we're going to go ahead and put in good stuff. So the Kukui is a little bit of a cute thing. I don't know if I'm going to want to run it, but the big damage might not hurt. So we're going to go ahead and run Sycamore. We're going to go ahead and run N. I think normally a 3 count of N would be good, but because of all the special energy run, we probably want to go ahead and run Max on it. To help out both Whiscash and Pidgeot, we're going to run a special charge. And in my opinion, the special charge, even if it's a 1-of, will be really helpful in giving us good odds on the Whiscash. We might even consider 2. We might even consider upping the energy count back to 20 like they were recommending, but we'll go ahead and run other good stuff to make a bad deck not quite as bad. Play some Lysanders. I think that the Lysanders will be pretty helpful here, as is the case in just about any deck. And then it really comes down to, do I want to run any tools? So there is Choice Band as an option. There is Floatstone. There's Pidgeot Spirit Link. And I think we're going to need some Pidgeot Spirit Link if we want this to be anywhere near playable. So we will run 2 of those. Run a Skyla to make that a little bit more consistent. Now here's where we're going to get really cute with our tool lineup. Just to keep things really fun, we're going to run 1 Floatstone, 1 Choice Band, because both can be good with both of our attackers. And last of all, we're going to go ahead and run some Consistency Crutch Pokemon. We'll run a couple Tapu Lele GX. We will run a Shaman EX. We got Search ability, we got Draw ability. And last of all, I think I want to run a Zygarde, like some sort of Zygarde, just because we got the typing. We'll go ahead and throw 1 Zygarde in, just so that we have that as a basic attacker. So let's take a look at it one more time. Looks pretty good. Blow it out for you guys to take a quick look-see. Now, special note on the Whiscash, it looks like on average we're going to only be getting 1 energy off the Landslip. So our deck's been more or less built to assume that. So it's essentially going to function more like a fighting backup in case you run up against a lightning matchup. So here we are. Arceus coin is the default coin for obvious reasons, because Arceus is the lord and savior of the Pokemon trading card game online. Doesn't matter that there are barely any legal. And let's go ahead and give this a couple games. I'm not really sure if we have a good chance of winning this at all, any of these matchups, but who knows. So let's see, we are up against a the Dark type makes me think we're playing against a Zoroark variant of some kind. So already off to a great start with our 18 energy deck. I've got 1 of 2 options. I can play the N and maybe draw fewer cards, or play the Sycamore and get more but lose a lot of resources. I don't think that it is worthwhile right now to risk so much stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and end. So already off to a pretty respectable start. I'm not going to bench this Pidgeot for fear that I might get Lysandered out. Don't want that to happen, because we've already got a Spirit Link, we've already got a Mega Pidgeot in our hand. Things are already looking really good, so I don't want to push it if I don't have to, but it looks like we're in a pretty bad spot if he gets a double on this Tapu Koko and somehow retreats out for it, because he would be hitting for 100 damage, but fortunately he does not hit it, so we can start setting up. Grab the... now here's a really tough choice for me, because I can evolve into Mega Pidgeot, okay, and hope to hit a double and knock out the Oranguru, or I can not do that and just Feather Lance. I think a little bit of the early game aggression might not hurt, especially since we run the Zygarde as a response KO'er. So actually, you know what? We will go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and evolve the Mega Pidgeot. Next time we search our deck, we'll go ahead and look a little bit closer at what's in the discard pile or not. And we've got the knockout on the Oranguru at least. So no switch, because there is no reason to. So thanks to Raven's Claw, he would be dealing a lot of damage to this Mega Pidgeot after a Flying Flip. That is okay though, we really expected that to happen. That is not a surprise. Go ahead and grab another Pidgeot Spirit Link. Start setting these things up. Ultra Ball into the other Pidgeot, other Mega Pidgeot. And hit for 100. So since he teammates, he sets himself up to have a smoother next turn. I don't know what he got on the teammates, so he probably needed to chain multiple stuff, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get the Kukui knockout on me or not. But I think the odds of that are pretty low. There is another teammates, and if I got that right, he runs... Wow, he runs two teammates. Teammates, and got the knockout. Cool. So what I'm going to do here is a little risky, but I am going to start digging. Because he's going to need a Choice Band and a double to knock me out. That is my Shaman. He's going to need that to knock out my Shaman. Actually, no, I don't even think he can. To be burning a lot of resources because I really want to hit that double. I've got 3 in the deck, so odds are pretty good. So burn all that stuff, and we hit the double. Awesome. And our mock continues. So, actually, I think I made a misplay here. I should have benched that Zygarde just to be prepared in case of an end. But that's okay. We can play around it. Plus, he's down 2 double anyways. So, he's going to have to special charge really, really soon. And if he has bad prizes, he might have to do it even sooner. Right now he's thinking, what is this guy playing and why does it not have any synergy? And unfortunately I would not have a very good response for him, because it's just it's just a weird deck. So there's the end. The teammates' chain is broken. Good for us. But unfortunately, he has Honchkrow. He has a Honchkrow and a double. I think this guy's actually knocked out because it's 70, 110, 150, 190. So I'm going to go ahead and double check our math here. Looks like, yeah, it looks like that would knock us out, but I think what I'm going to do is prepare a Zygarde in case I want to retreat this Pidgeot. So I'm going to Mock Cyclone and knock out. That is 3 double colorless energy gone. I don't know how many VS Seeker he runs. A couple interesting choices in the list, but I think he runs the Energy Lotto to give him a higher chance of drawing into them. But yeah, the VS Seeker, so for that reason he's got more than enough to knock me out. Assuming that his last double isn't prized. I think I'd be really glad if it was, but otherwise he wouldn't be doing the teammates play. There's a knockout. The only real good option I have is to bring up the Zygarde, hit for a little bit of damage, and see what comes of it. Cell Storm 60. I think he already has a Lysander in his discard pile. Or, no, doesn't look like it. Okay, yeah, that was unnecessary. He's got the Lysander. He's just doing something. That's not cool. He should have just played the Lysander. He should have just ball into the Tabalele, but at any rate, our non-synergetic deck almost beat a deck with real structure and synergy. So let's go ahead and give it one more shot. See if we might be able to pull out a win. And you know what? In hindsight, one thing I probably could have included that would have been decent was multi-switch. Multi-switch lets you grab any energy from your bench to go onto your active Pokemon. So if you have a double colorless energy or a strong, it can go to the active, and you can have a really powered up attack out of nowhere. But at any rate, looks like we've got Another type of lightning grass deck. It looks to me like it could really be anything. It could be Decidueye, it could be Vespiquen. So this I'll just go ahead and blindly play and we'll see what happens. I'm not really sure about my approach in the last game, because, I mean, Mega Pidgeot clearly has problems when getting hit by a Tapu Koko. And on top of that, I don't think that he needed to bench quite as many Pokemon near the end, especially the Barboach. But all the same, go ahead and end him. Hoping I hit an energy. I do. We will go ahead and... Not sure if I want to bench any of those, because again, like we talked about, I don't know what we're playing against, so just go ahead and pass. I mean, the odds of him being able to knock me out turn one are way too low to even worry about it. And it looks like Vigavolt. Cool. Of course he's got Field Blower. Of course he's got Field Blower. You always gotta have Field Blower. And call me crazy, but I don't actually think his hand is that good. So I might try to exploit this a little bit. So I run 3 Mega Pidgeot. For that reason, I think my odds are pretty good hitting something. Even though this Zygarde's a liability, I'm going to bench it anyways because it might be a cheap attacker. I will Sycamore. We do hit our Mega Pidgeot. And actually, I'm in a really cool spot where I might be able to start going super ham, super aggro. Because it does not look like he's got a terribly impressive opening hand. Especially with a Bridget for one Pokemon. So attach to the active because we are not attacking with this Pidgeot this turn. And we will go ahead and evolve, and it is our opponent's turn. And hopefully we've got... Oh, bad hand. Hopefully we got a Kukui in our deck, because if we do, we're going to knock out this Tapu Lele. So let us go ahead and Wonder Tag, see if we got it. And unfortunately we do not, but we've got a Lysander, so we might go ahead and go that route. My logic here is if I start targeting down those Grubbins, then we might not even have to worry about even making a difference in the game. Or we have weakness disadvantage on both fronts. But avoid that might be really helpful. So he draws into another Grubbin. And just passes. That's bad luck. But, yep. I definitely respect the angry face. Definitely respect it here. That is for sure a very bad beat. Let's go ahead and keep on digging, and if I hit my Kukui, then... If I recall correctly, yeah, there are two Lysander in my discard pile, or if there were 2 Lysander in my deck. So I'm going to discard an N and a Fighting. Those are expendable resources I can reuse. And I've got my Lele, I've got the Lysander. And we will keep on exploiting our friend's really bad hand. Before I decide what bench, I've got 1 Mega Pidgeot left. So I'm a little bit tempted to put the Pidgeot. There we go. Well, all in all, not too bad with a deck with no synergy at all. I would rate the deck builder overall as a little bit more improved, but To be perfectly honest, the trainer and supporter and the stadium output was just ridiculous. I don't get why they did that. I don't get why it even spits those cards out. It seems to me like it just gives you random trainers, which is not a good deck building lesson for people, where I think the only people who are going to seriously use it are people who don't know how to build decks and they need help. So I think the developers, if they want to improve it for the near future, they might consider maybe reevaluating which supporters they put in, and maybe even make it really inflexible, where they might just want to go ahead and have it set up so that every single list, no matter what it looks like, always has 4N, 4 Sycamore, 2 or 3 Guzma, a Pidgeot, a Pokemon fan club, and if the player owns any Tapu Lele or Shaman, check to see if those are there. Shaman rotates in the next format, so that's moot. But I think that if they are a little more rigid in the way they approach deck building, then it'll be a lot more helpful to the people who really need it. So that said, it was a lot of fun, and thanks for watching.